welcome to my review of Maleficent Mistress of Evil, directed by Joachim Rønning, and the sequel to 2014's live-action Maleficent and a retelling of this villain's story. This one stars Angelina Jolie reprising a role, as well as Elle also reprising a role, and Michelle Pfeiffer among others. And as Aurora is prepared to get married, her godmother Maleficent begins to question the complex family ties that bind them as destiny starts to pull them apart, bringing to the fold unexpected allies and new dark forces into play. I enjoyed the 2014 Maleficent for what it was. I don't think it's a really good movie. I don't think it's an awful movie. I enjoyed it for what it was. So I was on board for this one. It's just gonna be another one. Again, I don't have a close connection to the previous one. This one is a tad bit better, I think. It explores much more of Maleficent as a character and as just a being in this universe. That's all I'll allude to because I was really surprised having just watched the first trailer. I also really enjoyed Elle Fanning's role in this, and Michelle Pfeiffer chews the scenery. She knows exactly what kind of film she's on, she knows exactly what kind of script this is, and she just revels in this type of material, which is not very good. Her lines come across as very cringy. The ADR, especially on her, but also on other characters in general, is not good at all. The one high point in terms of performance in this film is Angelina Jolie. I don't think it's overstating that she was born to play this role. She is magnificent. Dare I say, if the material was better, she could elevate this film to new heights. But there's just a lot of other things that don't help her and don't help anyone in this film. The set design is pretty cool. The look of this film is really well done. The visual effects are tremendous. Some of the characters verge on the uncanny valley and more on the bad side, but it's just something you can't help and you cannot do any better at this point. Overall, I'd say it's pretty well done. I really like how Maleficent looks, and that's all I can really say. And I'm avoiding saying more even though I know people other than me know more because they have seen the second trailers for this film. But I really just want to talk about my experience having gone into this film knowing little to nothing. The relationship between Maleficent and Aurora is really what sticks with you throughout this film because you feel for them, you know that they care for each other truly due to the first film, and you want to see that relationship come through because that's what the film is about. And they do a good job at exploring that and at exploring the difficulties of trying to have this type of relationship when one is a human and the other one is a mythical creature, and there's just a lot of racism and bigotry going around against mythical creatures of the Moors. So I felt the first half of this film was kind of just starting. It takes a lot of time for this film to just get going and really get into the meat of it. The second half of this film really flew by. I had a really good time. But there are a lot of issues with this film. As I said, dialogue-wise, it can be pretty damn bad. It can be some of the worst lines I have seen written, or at least read out loud, in this year of 2019. The ADR as well is not very good. Apart from that, all the technical aspects of the film, it looks good, it looks vivid, it looks real. There's not one thing that jumped out at me in terms of the scenery, in terms of the look, the castles, the forests, creatures flying here and there, the magics. There's not one thing on that popped to me in a bad way, but the logic in this film just doesn't bring you any surprises at all. It shoves into your face the obvious things that is going to happen, and it has no nuance to it. Everything that's going to happen eventually, at the end of the film, you know from the get-go. The film doesn't even try to not make it obvious. There's also some real big logic gaps in this film because characters know certain pieces of information that they could never know in a million years. You have one scene with two characters talking in this one setting. They are at the castle, let's say. They are talking, just two characters alone, and then two completely different characters on another location in a different scene. They just know this information that was supposed to be a secret just in the previous scene. And that happens throughout the film with small things and then into bigger things that you just have no idea. How do people know this? How could they make this conclusion? Wait a minute, they were prepared for this one thing, but they didn't even know that other thing existed, so they could not be prepared for it. So it was frustrating catching myself thinking, wait, how did they know that? Throughout the film, from beginning to end, 2 hours of having scenes where it jumped on my mind that people just couldn't know this type of information. Maleficent Mistress of Evil is not a good title for this film. We've seen the first movie, and as I said, I don't mind that she's not evil in this version of Maleficent. I don't mind that at all. I like that she has nuance to her. She's not just a plain good guy. But calling this film Maleficent Mistress of Evil when we've been through the first film establishing that she is not that evil, and then in this film all I'll say is that she is Mistress of Evil for about 5 minutes. That's it. It's hard for me to say that if you didn't like the first Maleficent that this one will convince you. I don't think it will, but I also think it's a better film overall, just not by much. What pulls you in and what keeps you on is Angelina Jolie's magnetism and her vibrancy in this role. She is living vicariously through this character, and every moment she's on screen is amazing. Everyone else, I think, does a good job. There is a relationship here and there that you can feel for, but Michelle Pfeiffer just has a thankless role. So does Chiwetel Ejiofor. And as I said previously, there are no surprises, but there is fun to be had. There are really cool battles to be had in this film. And there's a whole lore and mythology that is much more explored and much better explored in this film than in the previous one. I'm going to give Maleficent Mistress of Evil a C+. Now, what did you think of Maleficent Mistress of Evil, my beautiful geekies? Let me know in the comments below. Did you like the first Maleficent? Did you not? Have you seen this one? Do you like it more? Do you like it less? Do you just hate both of them? Let me know in the comments below whatever your opinions are. And thank you so much for watching. I have more reviews coming to you, including Dolomite Is My Name, The Friend, Official Secrets, and so many other reviews. I hope to see you there. So until the next review, remember to stay beautiful, stay geeky, and don't forget to like and subscribe because it really helps me out. But most importantly, love each other and love the movies.